Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Have you ever had any dealings with what they call the black dog? The black dog of depression, they call it. Don't know whoever coined that phrase, but there's a book that my wife found in the doctor's surgery the other day where she works. Journeys with the Black Dog. Inspirational stories of bringing depression to heal. Edited by Tessa Wigney, Kerry Ayers and Gordon Parker. And I've had my encounters with the so-called black dog of depression, and I've learned a lot over the years. I've had about 3 major encounters with it over the years. I've talked about it before on this YouTube channel. But it struck me that I might try and do a series of just talking about the different resources that are out there, particularly from a Christian point of view, and talk about some of the different things that are offered to try and help you work your way through this. I don't claim to be an expert on any of this. I don't have any formal qualifications other than the things that I've learned in the school of life, which is quite considerable, that school, isn't it? We've all been through it and we're all still part of it. And so I'm going to try and touch on a few things. And this will be the first. If you say that you want me to keep going with this series, you need to let me know in the comments, because there's a lot involved in it. And I've got some notes written down here. I've got a whole lot of things that I've just jotted down as dot points. And here are some of the things that I hope to discuss. My experience has come up, and I've already talked about that as well. Some reading references, the makeup of who we are. Are we body, soul and spirit, or just body and soul, or what are we? Who are we? There's some interesting books that I read early in my journey. This one here, None of These Diseases. A doctor gives testimony to the wisdom of the Bible for the key to healthy living. It's interesting, at one stage I used to do some photography training through the WEA, which is an adult education organisation which caters for people with short courses in Adelaide. And I did some wedding photography training courses years ago. But at one stage I was learning a lot of these things that I'm talking about here. And I thought I would like to go and, because I have all sorts of metaphysical programs and things through this organisation, and I thought I would like to do some teaching on what I know about holistic health, spelt with a WHOLISTIC. And I was fairly well read on it, and I'd done a lot of research, had a lot of personal experience, and I approached someone at the WEA and they said, oh yeah, we're very keen for you to come and do that. Anyway, by the time they got back to me after we'd talked about it in the first place, I said, look, I don't think I'm going to do it now because I'm not going too well. I'd actually fallen in a bit of a hole at the time. So you never quite know, do you, how you're going with life. And sometimes you can be up and sometimes you can be down. And when I was offered to do that, I was down at the time. And so I opted not to continue with that. So now maybe this is a continuation, maybe my whole YouTube channel is a continuation of some of that. What else did I have down here? Some things. There's all sorts of different remedies that people, as soon as I used to be a rehabilitation counsellor at one stage in a government department. And as soon as you talk to someone about their illnesses and ailments, there's always someone got an opinion of who they should go to. This chiropractor, they should have acupuncture, they should do meditation, they should do this, they should do that. Everyone's an expert once you share with someone that you've got a problem. And so how many of those are legitimate or not? I've got a lot of tape sermons, books. I'm very interested in memory, the subconscious mind, what our memories do, PTSD, post-traumatic trauma disorder, PTSD, I think. Anyway, you know what I mean. But there are some things that, and there's some wonderful books. I came across one very early in the piece, and this is evaluating all the alternative medicines. Some people swear by alternative medicines. I don't, because I've read this book. but it depends on your worldview. I have a Christian worldview, and this book is prepared with a Christian worldview in mind. And I looked it up, and it's still available on the internet, but it's quite expensive. This is medically reliable and biblically sound alternative medicine, the Christian Handbook. And it says, what alternative therapies are available today? Should I consider herbal remedies, dietary supplements and vitamins? What are the claims? What is the evidence, and how do I choose wisely? Are there spiritual concerns with certain alternative therapies? Comprehensive reference guide reviewed and endorsed by the Christian Medical Association. That's an interesting one. Another similar one, some of you might know Dr. Neil Anderson. He's got one called The Biblical Guide to Alternative Medicine, a 5-dimensional grid to evaluate medical practices and healthcare. And that's by Dr. Neil Anderson of Freedom in Christ International, and Dr. Michael Jacobson. And they talk about acupressure, acupuncture, allopathy, applied kinesiology, centering, Chinese herbal medicine, and the list goes on and on, naturopathic. So there's lots of material out there, but how do you evaluate it all? And as a Christian, how do you evaluate it all? If you're not a Christian, how do you evaluate it all? So these are some of the things I'm going to touch on in this series. I've got a list of things that I'd like to work my way through. And one of them is this one here, Holistic Health. This was produced by a man called Lyman Coleman in the Serendipity series of Bible studies back in the 70s. And I've got, this is the Leader's Guide, and I've got a participant's handbook as well. And this one covers the spiritual, the physical, the emotional, the relational, the environmental, and the wholeness. This is using the Bible to find your way to holistic health. So I hope to touch on some of that as we go as well. So there you go. That's just a bit of an introduction, and I hope you're interested. And let me know if you are, and I'll see what I come up with over the next few weeks. So thanks for watching. Like if you like, and what's the word? Subscribe if you wish, and I'll see you next time. I hope you like this. I'm looking in the opposite direction to where I usually look now. I'm usually looking at the screen with my back to you from where I am here, but this is looking in the other direction. So there's the window that looks outside into the garden there. So anyway, we'll see you next time. See you later.